No two living things are exactly alike. In this episode, we'll explore variation, the differences that make each organism unique. We'll look at how genes contribute to differences in organisms, how the environment influences characteristics, and how mutations introduce new variation. You've probably noticed that all people are different from one another. These differences aren't just limited to humans. All species show variation. Different species obviously look different. My dog definitely doesn't look like a dairy cow. But even organisms of the same species will usually look at least slightly different. In a room full of people, you'll see different eye colors, differently shaped noses, and various hair colors. These differences are called variation within a species, and there are two main types: genetic variation and environmental variation. Genetic variation comes from our genes. All plants and animals have characteristics that are similar in some ways to their parents. This happens because an organism's characteristics are determined by the genes they inherit. Genes are the codes inside your cells that control how you're made. These genes are passed on in sex cells or gametes, from which the offspring develop. Most animals and quite a lot of plants get some genes from the mother and some from the father. The combining of genes from two parents causes genetic variation. No two of the species are genetically identical except for identical twins. Some characteristics are determined only by genes. In humans, these include eye color, blood group, and certain inherited disorders like hemophilia or cystic fibrosis. However, characteristics are also influenced by the environment. The environment, including the conditions that organisms live and grow in, causes differences between members of the same species. For example, a plant grown in plenty of sunlight would be green, but the same plant grown in darkness would be tall and spindly with yellow leaves. These are environmental variations. Environmental variation covers a wide range of differences, from losing a finger in an accident to getting a suntan to plants having yellow leaves. Most characteristics are actually due to a mixture of genes and the environment. For example, your maximum height that you could possibly grow to is determined by your genes, but whether you actually reach that height depends on environmental factors like nutrition. Mutations also introduce variation. Mutations are changes to the sequence of bases in DNA. As we learned earlier, mutations can lead to changes in the protein that a gene codes for. Most mutations have no effect on the protein and therefore don't alter characteristics significantly. Although it's very rare, mutations can result in a new phenotype being seen in a species. If the environment changes and the new phenotype makes an individual more suited to the new environment, it can become common throughout the species relatively quickly by natural selection. In our next episode, we'll explore natural selection and how it drives evolution.